Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say that this would certainly be an interesting way to shake things up a little bit in this fictional town of Los Angeles. And by that, we mean bringing back Deacon Sharp's scene canon son, Eric. It's been years, if not decades, since we've last seen him on the canvas. This has prompted a lot of people to wonder, where is Eric? And why did his father forget about him altogether? There's no doubt that Eric would definitely try and put some sense into his father, and especially about his marriage and living situation with Sheila. Talk about a lost opportunity for a great storyline. Of course, the internet certainly did have a lot to say about the matter. Some even commented with, Eric? Amber used to mention him sometimes when she was on Y&R. But like most kids, I think he was in boarding school. He is older than Hope and they have never met. Another fan of the show wrote, why can't he come on the show now? Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline Miss Hinswood, are not the only kids passed down. Nick, we had RJ, Little Rick, should have let Alexandria live, Bridget Forrester's, Ashley Jones. Some with Owen, we have Will, and let's give Thorne another hidden kid somewhere. And then there was this comment as well. Eric Jr. was Deacon and Becky's kid. Becky was Amber's cousin. Amber passed Jar off as her dead baby for a while. The secret came out and the baby went back to Becky, until she died of cancer, and for a while Amber and Rick raised him. Then Deacon took him back and he disappeared. For longtime fans of the bold and the beautiful, one name sparks curiosity and untapped potential. Eric Little D. Sharp, the estranged son of Deacon Sharp and Amber Moore. Though his appearances have been fleeting and his presence rarely acknowledged in recent years, fresh behind-the-scenes whispers and cryptic lines from Deacon suggest Little D's comeback may be more than just wishful thinking. Could this blast from Deacon's past blow apart his carefully constructed present? Let's dive into the creative spoilers, what Deacon's son could mean for the canvas, and how the return of Little D might explode like a ticking time bomb across the lives of Hope, Sheila, Finn, Steffi, and even Brooke. A haunting memory, Deacon's secret burden. Deacon Sharp may appear to have turned over a new leaf. He owns Il Giardino, has been trying to keep Sheila on the straight and narrow, as impossible as that seems, and is working on mending his complicated relationship with Hope Logan. But there's a heaviness in Deacon's eyes, something gnawing at him. That darkness could finally be given a name, Little D. The writers have begun dropping subtle hints, awkward silences when fatherhood comes up, a lingering look at a childhood photo on Deacon's phone, and a recent scene where he muttered, I made mistakes with my son. Maybe I don't get another shot. Fans are picking up on it. Is Little D back in the picture? According to our creative spoiler sources, Deacon's arc is about to shift in a powerful direction, and it begins with a mysterious phone call that rocks him to his core. Spoiler scene, the phone call that changes everything. In an upcoming episode, Deacon steps away from Il Giardino during closing time to take a call from an unknown number. His expression changes from irritation to heartbreak as a gravelly male voice says, I'm not calling to catch up. I'm in trouble. I need your help, Dad. It's Eric Sharp, now in his early 20s and harboring resentment, pain, and secrets of his own. Deacon is stunned. He hasn't heard his son's voice in nearly a decade. And Eric isn't calling to reminisce, he's calling from prison. Little D's story. A life of turmoil. Deacon's absence in Little D's life created a vacuum that was never truly filled. Raised by Amber Moore and shuffled through a series of unstable environments, Eric turned to dangerous influences. Word is, the young man became entangled in underground fighting circuits and was recently arrested in Las Vegas for aggravated assault during an illegal cage match gone wrong. Now he's on bail, but the charges are severe. If he's convicted, he could face 10 years. Desperate and bitter, he reaches out to the father who never came for him. Deacon is hit with guilt, regret, and the realization that his greatest failure may be catching up with him at the worst possible moment. Hope Logan's world turns upside down. Deacon confesses to Hope that her half-brother, someone she barely remembers, is back and not under ideal circumstances. Hope, who's been through emotional whiplash lately with Thomas's exit and Liam's unraveling, is blindsided. "I have a brother?" she asks, stunned. This new revelation shakes her to the core. For years, Hope believed she was Deacon's only child. Now, faced with the reality that she has a sibling who's walked a dark path, Hope's instinct is to help. But Brooke warns her otherwise. Brooke Logan's fierce reaction. Brooke's reaction is immediate and fierce. She sees Little D as a dangerous wild card, a mirror of the Deacon who once tore apart her family and ruined her trust. "Hope, he's not your responsibility. Don't let Deacon drag you into this," Brooke pleads. But Hope isn't so easily swayed. She's always been compassionate, sometimes to a fault. She remembers what it felt like to be discarded, abandoned, emotionally bruised. And her gut tells her that maybe, just maybe, this lost soul deserves a second chance. Still, she agrees to meet Little D, with Deacon by her side. First encounter. Hope meets her half-brother. Their meeting is emotionally charged. Little D, dressed in plain black and wearing a subtle smirk of defensive detachment, sizes Hope up with cautious curiosity. "You're the golden girl, huh?" he quips. Hope's not rattled. "I'm your sister, and I'm here because you matter." Little D's defenses falter for a moment. There's something childlike in his expression, something deeply wounded. But it quickly hardens. He's not ready to trust, especially not someone who had everything he didn't. Deacon watches helplessly, torn between pride and pain. Sheila Carter, the wild card. Here's where things go nuclear. Sheila, ever the nosy manipulator, finds out about Little D's reappearance, and rather than react with jealousy, she sees opportunity. Sheila is going to try and bond with Deacon's son, a source close to production teases. She'll offer legal help, even try to act like a mother figure. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Little D is no fool. He senses Sheila's manipulation, but is also intrigued. She's the only person treating him like an adult, like someone with power. And Sheila's promises? Tempting. This alliance could spiral into something volatile and dangerous. Finn gets involved, and Steffi isn't happy. As Sheila's influence over Little D grows, Finn finds himself reluctantly dragged in. He warns Deacon that his son is spiraling, and that Sheila's involvement is poison. "You're trying to rescue a kid who may not want to be rescued," Finn warns. Steffi, meanwhile, is incensed. She's had enough of Sheila's orbit infecting their lives. And now with a young, angry man tied to Sheila and Deacon, Steffi fears for her family's safety. "What happens when your son decides he wants to take what he was denied?" she demands. "What happens when he turns on Hope, or worse, Hayes?" Romance twist. Little D and Luna? One of the most shocking twists we're hearing involves Luna Nozowa. The beautiful intern has been grappling with her own family trauma. And while she's currently entangled in the RJ Zenda drama, producers are reportedly considering a radical pivot. Pairing Luna with Little D in A Chance Meeting at Forrester Creations, where he shows up to look around and ends up in a scuffle with RJ. Luna steps in and diffuses the tension. There's a spark, undeniable and dangerous. Could Luna fall for the bad boy? It's not hard to imagine. She's been craving something raw and real. And Little D, with his wounds, swagger, and edge, represents exactly that. Of course, this would enrage RJ and fuel a new triangle with explosive consequences. Amber Moore's possible return. And then there's Amber, Eric's mother and one of B and B's most chaotic former characters. Sources say the show has been in quiet talks to bring Amber back for a short arc. And if that happens, we're in for fireworks. Amber may return to reclaim her son and challenge Deacon's new role as the heroic father. Expect confrontations, accusations, and one hell of a catfight between Amber and Sheila if they ever cross paths. Imagine. You think I'm a bad mother. At least I didn't fake my death 5 times and shoot my son's wife. Hope's next chapter. With Thomas gone and her personal life fractured, Hope's involvement in Little Dee's redemption could become her next major storyline. She may try to get him a job at Forrester, push for therapy, or even move him into her home, against Brooke's furious objections. But what if her good intentions backfire? What if Little D isn't interested in redemption, but revenge? Final creative spoiler scene. A gun, a betrayal, a cliffhanger. In an explosive cliffhanger scene later this summer, security footage from Forrester shows a hooded figure breaking into Ridge's office. At first, it's unclear who it is. But then, as Hope sees a scar tattoo on the figure's wrist, matching one she saw on Little D, her blood runs cold. Has he gone too far? Deacon is forced to make an impossible choice: protect his son, or turn him in to save everyone else. The final line of the episode. Deacon whispering to himself as police sirens wail in the background. I finally found you, and now I might lose you forever. Final thoughts. If these spoilers and creative twists come to fruition, the return of Deacon's son could become one of the bold and the beautiful's most emotionally rich and dangerously unpredictable storylines in years. From Hope's shaken identity to Sheila's manipulations, from Luna's romantic entanglement to Deacon's deepening regret, the ripple effects could be staggering. So, is Deacon's son coming back? All signs point to yes, and Los Angeles may never be the same again. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our BOLD and BAUTFUL UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.